In this video we are going to go into the story of Dr. Dre and the violence he committed against women. One woman was a partner who suffered years of violent abuse, and the other was a savage beating in public. Let's look into this story. Dr. Dre is a rap legend, music producer and entrepreneur. He basically needs no introduction to explain who he is. He has a lengthy career dating back to 1985, and is at the top of the game in the rap business, people seeing him as a idol and musical genius. There is a lot more to Dr. Dre than we know, and has a nasty streak against women. Maybe he was young and has changed with age, or maybe deep down it is there waiting to surface. Known as Dr. Dre, his real name Andre Ramel Young. Dre was born and partly raised in Compton and Round, LA, so he was obviously no stranger to violence, growing up on the rough streets and later becoming a member of NWA, which was as badass as they come. In 1987 Dre met a girl, who was doing a vocal part for the band he was in at the time, World Class Wrecking Crew. This girl was a R&B singer known as Michel'le. Real name Michel'le Toussaint. She was only 16 at the time and Dre was 22. They later became engaged, and had a son. It was her first child and Dre's sixth. Not long after their son was born, Dre began to drink and sleep around with numerous women, and his behavior became volatile. Dre became violently abusive towards her all through their relationship. She suffered injuries such as a broken nose, which she later had to have corrective surgery on, cracked ribs and black eyes. Dre during one argument shot at her, just missing Michel'le by inches. The bullet was left in the door by Michel'le to remind Dre of what he had done, but the beatings didn't stop. Michel'le had started to get depressed and wore down. She began to self-medicate on prescription pills and started drinking with them. The relationship ended when Michel'le found out Dre was engaged to another woman. Michel'le ended up getting help from Suge Knight, who put her through rehab. She married Suge while he was in prison in 1999. She filed for divorce against Suge 6 years later, afterwards discovering their marriage was void as he still wasn't legally divorced from his previous wife. Michel'le also claimed Suge hit her on one occasion, dislocating her jaw. Dee Barnes, known as Dee and also known as her stage name Sister Dee, was a rapper and the host of the hip-hop show Pump It Up. In 1991 Dee Barnes did an interview with Ice Cube, who had not long left NWA, and there was friction between him and the group. Ice Cube had mocked NWA and made fun of the DOC's voice. Not long after he nearly got killed in a car crash, Dre was really good friends with DOC and took this very seriously. It was January 1991 and Dre encountered Dee Barnes at a record release party in Hollywood. Dr. Dre picked her up by her hair and started slamming her head in the brick wall repeatedly. His bodyguard kept the crowd back with a gun, and nobody could stop this savage attack. He tried to throw Barnes down the stairs, but failed, and she managed to get up and run into the female toilets, but Dre followed her in and carried on with his attack. He grabbed her hair from behind and punched her in the head over and over, and was stamping and kicking her while she was on the floor. Eventually Dre and his bodyguard ran from the building. NWA promoter Doug Young tried to stop the attack but was punched in the mouth by Dr. Dre's bodyguard. Maybe Dre was pissed at Ice Cube and wanted to take it out on Barnes, or maybe he was pissed that in her interview with Ice Cube, she mentioned that NWA was always mentioning and dissing Ice Cube in all their interviews and questions asked. Not matter what the case, no man should beat a woman, and he wasn't even sorry. There was no video evidence, and probably not many people would give evidence against Dre. He could have easily got off with the attack, but Dre had to give it the bad boy approach and gloat on what he had done, saying, "People talk all this shit, but you know, somebody fucks with me, I'm gonna fuck with them. I just did it, you know. Ain't nothing you can do now by talking about it. Besides, it ain't no big thing, I just threw her through a door." Some of his NWA crew even gave approval of what Dre did to Barnes. Ren said she deserved it. Bitch deserved it. Easy, he even made a comment saying, the bitch had it coming. 26-year-old Dr. Dre pleaded no contest to misdemeanor battery charges in August 1991. He had to pay a $2,500 fine and serve 240 hours community service. He was also ordered to pay $1,000 to the California Victims Restitution Fund and to produce an anti-violence public service TV announcement. The judge never ordered a payment for Barnes, and Barnes sued in a civil suit for $22 million, but Dre settled out of court. Over time, a feud with Dre and Eazy. He started an Eazy. He brought up Dre in several songs and about beating up Barnes and basically calling him a coward and not a real man. Over the years, Dre slowly started to brush the Dee Barnes attack under the carpet, not liking it mentioned, but did make light of it in his song with Slim Shady Guilty Conscience, where Eminem brought up the Dee Barnes beating. The 2015 film Straight Outta Compton was highly criticized about the film, completely skipping what happened to Barnes and making a scene of events, which was not long after. Michel'le was also skeptical of the film, with it not showing Dre's violent side against women. After the film, Dre issued a statement apologizing to the women he had hurt. Michel'le said it wasn't sincere and directed at her or anybody else. She said he only made the speech to make him look better, and not, but a slur upon of his career. Michel'le, who had been blacklisted from the rap game and not able to speak out about her time with Dre and NWA because the power Dre held in the industry, finally got to speak out in 2016 and wrote her biography in the television film Surviving Compton. Dre, Suge and Michel'le. Showing how Dre pushed her into her life of drink and drugs and tarnished her life and career. Maybe Dre has changed. He is now 57-year-old and obviously lived a reckless life in his younger days being a part of NWA. Dee Barnes was asked if she was sexually assaulted by Dr. Dre, which she never gave her answer to. If it was the night he attacked her, I highly doubt so, as witnesses looked on, but I cannot say if it's true or not. Dr. Dre has achieved a lot and brought a lot to the music industry. Like I said, people can change from their younger days. Thanks for watching.